Let me get your opinion on.
Okay.
So I know, like, especially now in the day and age that we live in, everybody and their mom's gonna like they're doing content, and especially like a lot of the stuff that I've seen on the internet is like very like super polished and edited and like like they've obviously spent hours on Premiere cutting, color correcting, doing all the voiceovers, edit.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
lot of that content out there.
Yeah.
And then there's also the content where it's like it looks like you're a divorced dad in Walmart recording a selfie. Like, hey guys, how does this work? I don't know.
Yeah, hey, they're recording a selfie, and it's like just their eyes. They're like, hey, man, hey, how's it going? Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so there's like those two like extremes, kind of, I guess, of like
Sure.
quality of content and video.
Sure.
Is there a certain way that you lean towards, like, as far as you're like, oh, I really care about the production value and I really want it to be a well polished piece of art, versus you're just like, it could be, not as great quality,
Sure.
but as long as like I get to talk about what I love to talk about,
Yeah.
and I get to do what I love to do, like, I don't really care too much about it. It's it is what it is. You just throw out whatever.
Yeah. I think for me and the stuff that I want to make, I think as long as my like point gets across, I whatever benefits that, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as when I've put together the video, I'm like, this, whatever I was rambling about. Because sometimes I just ramble in front of the camera, bring the footage in, make a video from that with no plan. I'm just like, I kind of want to talk about like, oh, I read this thing and it made me think of this. I'll figure it out halfway through. And then it's like 20 minutes later, I'm like, ends up with a 7-minute video. You're like, that's pretty good. And then I'll shoot like B-roll to go over it. But but I think as long as like the message of the video, I think you should always, and this is just me, my opinion, I think you should always create something with a point. I do think that. But that's just like the stuff that I want to make. And I'm not saying like, I think if that divorced dad at Walmart is making that selfie, but his point is like, can you believe these egg prices? Like, that's a point that he wants to make. You know what I mean? Like, he's still making that with a message, right? I think it's, again, for me, is I think the people that make stuff just to be like, oh, I know, let's use TikTok as an example. I know this, what is it, like a sound. I'm not super familiar with TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm getting better. I'm trying to figure it out. But like a sound you can use, it's like trending. I'm just gonna make this because it's trending, right? Because I've seen someone get a lot. What's the point of that? Like, what? I think your content should at least have value. For me, like my but I think how it looks, like, oh, do I want to shoot it in S-Log and color grade it in DaVinci Resolve? And then, if that's the type of stuff if that's like part of your point, if your point is if you're a camera influencer, then yeah, your stuff should look the best it should ever look. But that's part of your brand and that's part of what you make. But if your thing is like personality based, dude, just with the cameras we got now, like with the phones we got now, flip that thing around and just go for it, dude. Like, go for it. Because your point is like whatever you wanted to make that video. But I think pointless content is not for me. Is not for me, personally. That answered that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's where I was going with that, because especially like, I mean, you see my setup, what I have here.
It's
like
a nice setup. They can't see it, but it's very nice.
Trust him.
You trust me. You just met me, but I'm a good guy.
No, but I definitely kind of also had that. I kind of went through that phase of like, oh, like I want it to look polished. I need this gear. I need, to buy the mics. I need to buy the lights. I need to buy everything. I went down that.
We've all been there, Joe. We've all been on B&H Photo thinking, I need to get this.
I went down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But then, I'm also like slowly learning to be like, just work with what you got.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, like a feature film quality of, 4K, 8K.
Oh yeah, 8K.
IMAX.
You got to. I got an IMAX camera for this podcast, dude. Oh, Christopher Nolan's in the back.
Could you imagine a podcast episode with an IMAX camera?
Oh, that'd be amazing. One day, this dude. If you ever do, I'm on that episode.
Oh,
I am on that episode. I'll even pull focus for you. I'll be like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, I'll get it done. But yeah, no, and yeah, I think you're 100. I think we all do that. I went through that thing, and that's why I can say that is because I was literally probably right there with you of like, I need this stuff. I literally can't do it without this stuff.
yeah.
Even though like some of the filmmakers, the reason that I went to school and things like that, like I don't know, but. When I went to school, it was like, oh, this is gonna age me, Joe. Hold on. It was like
I can bleep this out. If
no,
you
no,
want.
no, it's fine. It's fine. I've come to terms with it. It's fine. It was like 08, 09 when I went to college. So for you guys, it's 2008, 2009. When I went to college, but you know, during that time, a lot of the independent filmmakers that when I went to film school, it was like Robert Rodriguez, who he did like Desperado, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Like he was like that indie filmmaker. Same with like Quentin Tarantino, Kevin Smith. Like they made very different movies, but it was that crew, right? Mm-hmm. And I would read all their books. Like I have all their books, and they all said the same thing, but it didn't click with me until like a decade later. Literally, film what you got. Like the reason that Kevin Smith made Clerks and stuff is because he worked at that gas station and he just filmed it like with his friends because that's what he had.
Yeah.
You know, same with Robert Rodriguez. Like, I have this amount of money and I have this ability for this location or this availability for this location. And so I hear it all the time, but until I think every person has to come to that realization of like, well, I need this type of mic. I need this type of, sound mixer. I need this camera. If not, don't count me there. It's like, well, no, just you got what you got. Because would you really want to invest all that? And then you're going to make mistakes. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm like? It's impossible not to.
Yeah.
It's impossible to set all this up, and you're going to look at footage, and you're like, well, that audio is no good. You know what I'm like? It's just gonna happen. So why not make that mistake without the financial commitment? And so when you're working out all these kinks and you're understanding kind of where you want your stuff to go, then you can invest in it. Because also, I think too, you have no idea if you're going to like doing it. In your mind, you think you'll like it.
Yeah.
But what if, whatever, down the road, you're like, that's not for me. And it's easy to walk away instead of being like, well, I've already invested all this time, man.
Yeah.
I got it. And then you're alleged, hypothetically miserable at work and miserable at the stuff you're supposed to be doing for fun because you're like, I'm committed. I have to do this.
Yeah.
And that's why if you just do what you got, you're like, I'm not committed to it. And then you can like go on to a different creative adventure if that's what you want to do, in my opinion.
Yeah. And honestly, the low quality stuff is sometimes more fun.
Dude, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's more fun. Like I had, back in the day when I was in school,
Sure.
when I was in like high school, I was very involved in my church, right?
Okay.
And then so every summer and every winter, our church would have retreats where we would like kind of go out. It'd be like almost like a summer camp kind of situation. And so like obviously there's going to be rules at the camp. You can't like sneak out at night. You can't do this or that, whatever.
Right.
So at my church, we did this like thing where we would create a rules video. So we would have like a video explaining the rules and stuff like that. But we would just do like the stupidest stuff ever. Like I think one of them we were like did a rule where like you're not allowed to sneak out at night past like curfew or whatever. So we filmed like my friends like trying to sneak out, and then someone would like tackle them and just like, this is what's gonna happen to you if you try to sneak out or whatever.
Nice.
And it's like the most low quality filming
Yeah.
on somebody's flip phone, and we're like putting it together. But it's just like
It's a Motorola
so
Razor.
Yeah,
You're like, yeah, dude. Nice.
But it's just like we just had the most fun doing
Yeah.
it, and it's like.
And that's what I think like this stuff should be. I think people put too much weight into like people are doing stuff like this and being like, I gotta make it to this level. But
Yeah.
like I remember doing stuff with friends too, of like, and that's the most fun. Like sometimes, and I'm not going to say this, but this YouTube channel, it does not exist, but there might be a YouTube channel of some stuff that I've done.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Who knows? Who's to say? But from a long, like young me, right? But I sometimes go back and watch some of these alleged videos that are on the internet because it is fun. Like having that, like, Motorola Razr flip phone, or like an old like camcorder that you had to like digitize the tapes is a whole thing. Oh, yeah. But yeah, and you're right. And I think if you go in with that mentality of building your own thing, who doesn't want to, like, it's back to nostalgia. Like, who doesn't want to have fun with their friends for a job? Like, forever. Like, you know, like, that's the greatest thing ever. And so, yeah, those are always the best. Like, the best. Those are always, you're like, man, because you ain't got to worry about, did anybody white balance this camera? White balance? We did not. We don't even, what does that mean?
What is that?
I took the lens cap off. I don't, I hit the button that says REC. This is where we're at. But yeah, and I think having that mentality is so important when you're making stuff for the internet.
Oh yeah.
You know, because why would you get off work to go to another job?
Yeah.
If you don't have to, like, if it's not about like providing for your family or whatever like that, but like, why would you try to create something and be like, getting off work, going to my other job? Like, no, you want to be like, you know what I'm saying? You want to get off work and be like, oh, I'm super excited to go sit down with Joe and talk about a podcast. Like, this is fun. This is not like a job.
Yeah.
This is just good times. And that's what you want. So I think if you put too much pressure on yourself and you're like, what kind of content am I going to make? You know, bring the fun out of it.
100% agree. Totally.
Yeah.
I think for the sake of time, we're going to try to wrap things up
Smart.
pretty soon. But on this podcast, we do have one final tradition that we do.
Okay.
We typically will do a life lessons with Joe, where I have the guest share just a little bit, maybe a life lesson or some wisdom that you want to impart on me, on the audience, something that you've learned
All right.
in life.
No pressure.
No pressure,
Dude. All right.
No pressure.
Life lessons. And it's funny. I feel like we've given them a lot of life lessons in this podcast.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would say, don't take yourself too seriously. That's probably like my parting advice.
I think we embodied that on this podcast.
100%. That's what I'm saying. I'm wrapping it all around. This is a one whole storyline you got. But it's true. I think I had growing up like that. I tried to take myself so seriously at a certain point, and then if just having fun with everything and not worrying about like, oh, if I do this or say this, when I walk away, are they going to talk about me? You know what I'm saying? Or like seeing, like, let's say you're having a conversation and you see someone, whatever in the corner or whatever, worrying about like, are they talking about me? You know what I'm saying? Or like having to put on something of like, I'm a tough guy. Listen, Joe, I'm not a tough guy, and that's okay. I accept that. You know what I'm saying? But I went through that phase as a kid of like, I got stone cold right here, Joe. Like John Cena, you can't see me. So learning to not take yourself seriously, I think that's the best thing that I've done. And just have a good time. And just like try to, and it's a lot easier to say than do, but like try to find fun moments as much as possible in life. Life too serious, man. Especially the older you get too. Like it's like the older you get, people forget what fun is. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever noticed that? Like the older you get, you're like, you just forgot what fun is. You just like, we're out here trying to go down a river, and you're just like mad about. You like worrying about. Listen, that light bill is going to be due regardless. You at least can have fun right now and deal with it later. You know what I'm saying? Like You can at least have fun right this second. That ain't going nowhere. Okay. You know. And I think the more responsibility, and the older you get, like people forget how to have fun. Mm-hmm. And so I think with the stuff you got going on here, or like anything, or just like making content, like just have fun. Have fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. Is that good, Joe? Did I pass? Yeah, let's go.
That was awesome.
Let's go, dude.
That
Let's go.
exceeded my expectations.
Nice. Now,
good.
I have a question. I know we got to wrap up because I talk way too much, and I apologize. But I have so did I talk less or more than you thought I would talk?
Actually, I'd say you hit right about where I was expecting.
Oh,
I'm not
let's
gonna lie.
go. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right. I was a little
was-
nervous. I was a little nervous that I would devour the conversation, but that's okay. All right.
No. I
Nice.
think we had a good.
Had
a
it
good
was
back
great.
and forth.
It was great. It was great.
Yeah. And I had fun. So
I had a
that's what
great time, Joe. I will come back anytime you want me to come back. Anytime you want to fill some air, I got you. I can fill a lot of air, Joe.
Oh yeah. Hey, we got to do the IMAX camera episode.
We got to do the IMAX
Now that we
camera
talked about it, we
episode.
got to do it.
Yep. And then,
So-
maybe we can do an episode where we watch a bunch of anime and we talk about them for my
Ooh.
channel.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
down.
Okay.
I'm
All
down.
right. All right.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay.
All right.
I will hold you to that.
Hey, it's recording.
It's recording?
So we're on air.
It's on
No,
air.
we-
So,
We have proof.
yep.
I'm down.
All
I'm
right.
down.
Let's
We'll
do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you, man.
Yep. Thank you.
Catch you guys next time on another episode. Peace.
Bye.
That's a wrap.
We did it. We did it.
I don't have to sleep, but
Wait, it's
Close enough.
Close enough. I still do that. I still do that to sync my audio every time. It's just as good as a slate.
it works, man.